Hello, welcome to Mike Travels. Now I'm located here in the Golden Triangle, which is located in northern Laos, a place called the Chinese Special Economic Zone. In the picture there is called the Kapok Star Hotel. It has a casino on the ground floor and the first floor. It's probably the centrepiece infrastructure for the Chinese Special Economic Zone. This is probably the most famous building. It stands out at night. It's lit up very bright. It's an incredible looking building. Now the video I want to show you, I want to go through some of the casinos which the area is known for. I'll show you some of the vehicles which these hotels, casinos make available to the high flyers and the gamblers. Also, I'll show you some of the poorer areas of the economic zone, and I'll give you a rundown, a summary of what I think after 2.5 days there, what I think the future is. But as I said, this is the Kapok Star Hotel we're looking at now, located in the Chinese Special Economic Zone. This is the front reception area. I stayed there one night. I was the only Westerner there. All the guests are Chinese nationals. They fly over from China mainland. They come through the international airport not far from here, and they stay in these hotels and they gamble. That's the sole reason they come. Outside that building is another casino here called the Alexi Casino. Now this one, as you can see, it's got a sort of an Italian theme to it, with the statues, the building, the architecture. On the other side of these buildings is another massive area that they're building called Little Venice, which is in construction stage. So it's all based around tourism. The area itself, it's located in the Bokeo province, northern Laos. It's 3,000 hectares of land that was leased to the King's Roman Casino Group, who are based out of Hong Kong. The lease is from the Laos government, and the King's Roman Group, they're in charge of the land, the development, and that's why we're seeing these casinos being built. In the background there, you'll see a massive number of apartment towers. There's about 8 apartment towers there under construction that they're trying to sell. Now this area is called the de facto Chinese city. It's based on Laos land, but when you're there, you would think it was China. All the shops sell Chinese goods, services. There's basically just Chinese restaurants. Unfortunately, the Chinese Special Economic Zone's been dogged by criminal activity, mainly human trafficking, animal trafficking, drug trafficking, money laundering, scamming, businesses setting up in the commercial buildings. These sort of activities have had a lot of publicity, which has caused a lot of problems trying to get tourists to come here. The shops themselves in the area, they sell endangered animals. A lot of the restaurants have got exotic meats, tiger, bear cub, python on the menu. A lot of the other menus show bear paw, monitor lizards, geckos, snakes and turtles on the menus. Now this is the other side of the Alexi Hotel Casino. This was in the middle of the day, so it was very quiet, but this gives you an idea on the architecture and how they present the casinos there. Now when you're coming here, the authorities tell people to exercise a high degree of caution in the Bokeo province, which is borders on the Myanmar and Thailand, and runs along the Mekong River. There's lots of criminal activity. And as I said, they're trying to clean it up. I was there for 2.5 days. I didn't have any trouble. I walked around freely day and night. I had no trouble. I felt safe, but obviously I'm only one person, but talking to the general manager of the hotel, there's been a lot of call centre scamming, and the police stations and the police, Laos, Chinese and Vietnamese, have been reasonably successful in cleaning up that. But as I said, this whole region, which is designed for Chinese, basically Chinese tourism. I don't know what the focus is on Western tourism. I think it's pretty low. Out the front of the Alexi Hotel casino, I saw these three-wheeler vehicles. Caught me by surprise. They were just sitting there. And Polaris, motorcycle club. So I'd say that they're probably owned by the King's Roman Casino Group that run the casinos, and they're probably designed to rent out to high-flying gamblers or tourists. Now, to get to this area, or to get into Laos, I just had an e-visa, which I got at Vientiane Airport. I didn't need any other visa or any special documentation to come to the Golden Triangle, the Chinese Special Economic Zone. I came by bus, and you go through a control zone. They print your visa, and being a Westerner, I got much more attention, of course, coming here, but there was no problems. I got in quite easily. Now, here's a Hummer, which is a company vehicle. When I arrived in the Special Economic Zone and tried to stay at the Kapok Star Hotel, I had a credit card, but they wouldn't accept that. So they used the vehicle, the company vehicle here, to take me down to the bank, to an ATM, where I had to withdraw Thai baht or Chinese yuan to pay for the room. Now, here we are outside the casinos once again. There's lots of prestige cars here. This is a long wheelbase Hummer, probably available to tourists to rent or use on a short-term basis. But outside this area in the car parks, there's a lot of prestige cars. Rolls-Royce, Maserati, Bentleys, amazing number of prestige cars that are just sitting in this special zone. For such a low population, there's a lot of prestige cars. Yeah, so you go from the main street there where all the commercial buildings are, and then you've got this little park that's been built. And the river's there. The river doesn't, the water is not flowing actually, it's stagnant, so that's not going to go down well, but yeah, they've built this little park here. There's the Myanmar workers sitting there. So yeah, I'm a bit impressed with the number of trees that they've grown here. They're putting a real effort to make it sort of green. Because you need the big trees to give the shade. So, little areas like this will be good. It looks like we stop here because we're at a construction site again. Now, what have we got here? Oh, there you are. You got an apartment tower. And it's locked off. Blocked off. Can't get through there. Yeah, well, whoever's idea it was to have this man-made sort of lake or river running through town, that hasn't worked out well. The water's just stagnant, rubbish, plastic dumped in it. Yeah, they've got a, that's an eyesore, that. They need to work something out with that. Yeah, so there it is. I'll be leaving here in the morning, the hotel's manager's promised to give me a car, or get one of his managers to drive me out of the economic zone to the bus stop, so I can get a bus back to the train, which will probably be about a 5-hour bus trip, back to the train, and then back to Lorong Prabang. But eventually they're going to have to come up with another name for this city, because it's going to grow, surely. It's the amount of building going on here, it's going to grow incredibly over the next 5 to 10 years. So much under construction here. And like always, when you're walking around here, you always end up coming back to the #1 landmark. There it is. And as the night, as it gets darker, that gets brighter. Incredible sight at night. So, for all the good things that are here, the accommodation, the casinos, all the things that are bringing the Chinese people with money to come here and spend their money, there's other areas where the waterway here, it really doesn't look the part. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to turn it into a Venice, but I suppose once they get the gondolas in there and turn it into a tourist attraction, it might be nice. But it's hard to judge this place at the moment, because some things are fully finished, others are quarter finished, others are construction sites still like this. I'd like to come back in 10 years to see if they've actually finished everything off and what it looks like. But would I want to live here? No. No, I wouldn't want to live here. It's other than gambling, there's not a lot to offer the tourist. But as I said, as I've harped on all the way through, this is not designed for me. This is designed for Chinese people to come across the border, not far from their homeland, come across the border, gives them a chance to travel without going too far, and they can gamble here. They can't gamble at home. Yeah, so I'd look, all in all, being here for 2.5 days and having a long hard look at around, I'd say I'm pleasantly surprised by it. I've seen a lot of the YouTube stuff and all the negativity, and I think a lot of it is bad reporting. Sure, they've had problems with crime. Even my hotel manager said, when I spoke to him today, I've been walking around a lot, he said you would have seen a lot of empty buildings, commercial buildings, because Chinese government, the Laos government have been through a lot of the buildings and cleared the scamming businesses out. So there's a lot of empty buildings. So they are trying to clean it up. They're serious about it. And yes, I've been pleasantly surprised. I didn't really know what to expect, but it's better than I thought. Much, much better, yeah. And I felt very safe walking around here. And look, I stick out like a sore thumb walking around with this camera and a tripod with me. You know what I mean? They're all looking at me. So if there was problems, they would have come up to me and said, listen. But I've never had anybody come up to me and say, what are you doing? Do you mind stopping? Nobody's caused me any trouble whatsoever. So there it is. So I'll be on the bus tomorrow. It's about, I reckon it'd be 8:30 in the morning, and the hotel management vehicle drove me to the bus station here. So I'm outside the special economic zone now. And they drove me here. Gee, they were good. I got there at 8 o'clock. The hotel manager said, all right, get in the car. And he drove me here. And now this man here speaks very good English.
Thank you.
So he pointed me over to the ticket box over here. And he knew which station I needed to go to get back to Luang Prabang. It's called Nati U station. So it's going to be about a 6-hour drive.
Yes.
In this bus. This bus is very good though, it's got good seat. So this is a lot better bus than I've had before, better quality seating. So what we do now, that cost me 310,000 kip to go from here to the train station of Nati U. And now we wait here until the bus driver's got 13 people, and then once he's got his 13 passengers, then we'll leave. So that's how it's done here. But it's been very good. I was worried about this morning trying to find this bus stop, and then the hotel looked after me, and it's lucky this man here speaks English, or you're talking to everybody here and they don't know which train station you want to go to. So yeah, I feel more comfortable now that I've got my bus trip, and I'll get to the bloody train station. Once I get to the train station, I've got to buy a train ticket, and there's 2 trains that leave, one at 1 o'clock and one at 6 o'clock to go back to Luang Prabang. So yeah, so eventually we'll get back.